Welcome to Washed Up Podcast. You ain't what you used to be, but you in position to be who you destined to be. To get close and personal, thank you for blessing us with your time. To be tuned into our time, so we can be a constant beat in your mind. Washed Up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome, family. Welcome. Man, I got a special guest, the one and only Miss JRS, my wifey. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all what happened. It was my wifey idea. This was supposed to be like a VD slash...
A VD?
Well, Valentine's Day.
Don't say VD.
A little Valentine's Day like little couple with the washed up squad and my fellas slawed out on me. Well, first of all, to start off, I wanted to go ahead and give my wife a shout out for holding it down for me. My comely wife.
You and your words.
COMELY. Y'all look that up. Thank you for holding it down for me. Running things some of the time, not most of the time.
All the time.
Not even close. Thank you for being a mirror reflection, helping me grow as a man. And well, I can't ask for a better partner.
Thanks, baby.
Friend, lover, as you.
Don't give them too much now. Thank you, baby.
So I wanted to give my wife a shout out. So to carry on to this V-Day special, you already said how you feel about Valentine's.
It's not really significant to me.
Not really.
No, I'm not a Valentine's holiday person. I mean, I appreciate the time off though. But other than that, for me, it's like every day should be celebrated. Every day should be the same thing consistently for the most part. I mean, every day not going to be exactly the same. Mm-hmm. But if I got to wait for a whole holiday just for any appreciation, any show of love, anything else, then maybe it's good for people who love languages. It's like receiving gifts and things like that.
Transactional.
Maybe that's the people that might do that, but I am a very everyday consistency or actions person. So all of this would be cute. But I mean, if we're being real, I still got a purse in the closet or two that you bought. That I looked at the price tag and I was like,
oh boy,
what my baby spent this? But I'm going to find something to wear with. 3 years later.
So to carry on to offer what you're saying, what do you consider true love to be? Do you feel like I just stick with Americans been taught transactional love? Like growing up, they've been taught transactional love. Even from with the kids, like it start from when you were a child, you have a kid, you tell them, hey, you know what? You do good in school, I'm going to get you that Nintendo you want. To them, that's a gesture of love of you doing things that they're appreciative of. So what happened when they get to an adulthood, they transfer that same type of love they experienced as a kid in their relationship. So do you think most of us Americans have been more dealing with attachment and you do for me, I do for you type love? What's your thoughts on that?
I think that in a sense, we are all basically programmed in a sense or taught. Like even back to when you go to elementary school, even when you read the Bible, do unto others as you have them do unto you. If you give respect, you're going to get respect, which gives unrealistic views of what our expectations is. So then that makes it grooms us to automatically expect in return what we give out. So that's how come even a lot of us as adults, we struggle with the fact of this person not giving me what I need. I keep giving it to them, they not giving it to me. But it's because we set up with unrealistic expectations from the beginning.
You looking for a mimic what you never gonna receive.
Right.
Like I'm starting to learn as I get older that what you provide to the universe, you will always continue to provide it, and everybody that come around you or in your circle will suction it from you. Meaning that if you in a situation you feel like you always leading the show, you gonna always end up being around people you leading the show. That's like a slight, somewhat as a
But if you go further to think about that concept, are you the universe pulling that from you, or is your mentality drawing those kind of people towards you?
your mentality drawing those people to you. You're a magnet towards people that need XYZ, right? So what happened is that you think because okay, I'm gonna perform, I'm gonna do this, and this because I didn't get this as I was a child. I'm showing them the performance of what I want them to give back to me. I'm never going to receive that from that person because I really don't have that cultivated in me.
Why do you say performance?
Because you're only doing it expecting something in return. So it's not genuinely who you are.
I don't think that anybody knows that initially. I think everybody, well, I'm being
Well,
very
I didn't. I'm gonna say
facetious.
I ain't know that. I'm starting to learn that. You
Yeah,
know.
it's hard to say for me, like when you say performance, that's like, to me, it's like being fake, right? But intentions, your intentions behind a lot of things is what makes it true or not.
Yeah.
So if you are being who you are because that's who you know to be, you being your true version of yourself. But when we have unhealed versions of ourselves, then that is who we are in that moment. Until you start to heal certain things, then you can see a different version of yourself and then know that the other version was facetious. But going into it, you never going to actually realize it. We all know people like, that's just how I am.
Mm.
Favorite phrase. I know I ain't gonna lie. You said that's just how I am. I used to
But
say that about a lot of stuff, but
but
you don't know.
as you talking is making me think that what happened is that our soul develop an ego. That
What's ego?
ego, it's a personality we develop from using defense mechanisms of adapting to whatever environment we were in growing up. So as we done practice and told ourselves this is who we want to be, this is who I'm comfortable, or this is my safe space of maneuvering through the crowd or staying low key. There's an identity that I'm creating to function in this world. So I'm thinking that the ego is that one that is telling you that, oh, that's just who I am. That's just how it is. I've been doing that. You know what I'm saying? And what I was finna get to is that I believe that the ego is fighting the spirit, which is who you truly are. Your spirit is who you truly are. Your spirit is the gate, is the key to your freedom from being in bondage from all the trauma, the
Mm-hmm.
wounds, the things that you done seen, or the past generational trauma,
Yeah, curses,
curses, or
everything.
whatever.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So,
I can't think of this book. I can't remember the book that I was reading. It talks about how whoever you are initially is then bound based upon the shame that you have from the things that you went through. So, any kind of situations that we may feel embarrassed by, or any kind of trauma you've been through, or anything, it binds you. So, if you think of everything with a cord wrapping around you every time something happens, that's what it's called, the shame that binds you.
mm,
So it says that as we are younger and different things happen that you would want to hide and not want the rest of the world to know, your shame then binds your spirit so that you cannot be the truest form of yourself.
but that makes sense because I mean, you saying older, but older
Well,
is,
in
I mean, but
general,
I'm
yeah.
thinking that older really is like
When you start to
between,
be kids,
yeah,
yeah.
8, 9, 10.
If
You know
you
what I'm
think
saying?
about your like dynamics and stuff, I know that I can at least go back to like first or second grade and
Mm.
remember something horrible, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah. You're
a
right.
incident or anything like that. That already started the building blocks for negativity right there.
Mm.
So it's already one rope around wrapped around, then you got another situation and another one. So how can you be yourself when you got all this rope and bondage tying you up? You got to get to the inner portion,
Mm.
and you can't with all them cords wrapped around you.
And how can you truly love without being yourself?
But I am myself at that moment. If I have ropes around me, I'm myself, but I'm a paralyzed person. If a person been handicapped or paralyzed their whole life, they don't never think that they ever gonna walk because they used to operating being a paralyzed handicapped person. I am myself in that moment, but I haven't healed and recovered.
You know, again, I had another thought.
Hmm.
Shout out to Miss Young. She was telling me a story how she was working way back. Some of the soldiers came home from the war,
Hmm.
the Tuskegee.
Oh, the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah,
Uh huh.
she was round that time. That's when they was giving the men test tubes. They was
Yeah, they
testing.
test a lot of things
Yeah, they
on you.
was testing a lot of things. But she was telling me. The fast forward, but anyway, she was telling me about this man that was paralyzed.
Hmm.
And like the most thing that stood out, she was like, he just had the most. His personality was just beautiful. It was awesome.
Hmm.
For you to be paralyzed and still have a great personality, you know what I'm saying, is amazing to me. It tell you that we are more to meets the eye. I don't know if that's the correct word.
Yeah, more than meets the eye.
To what we think. Like your spirit, your soul is more wider. I can't even think of a word though.
Hmm.
Than you can expect. And it just kind of made me think of how a person can get to being who they are. Meaning that the things you have, what you able to do, what you able to receive don't mean nothing. I mean, like that stuff literally don't mean anything. Your spirit is still greater than all. You are. I am. But I'm
Right.
kind of drifting, but that just kind of amazed me about how we are as humans, how we have to connect with our inner spirit.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And stop letting our soul have been taken hostage by our wounds. And that's how I look at it. And I think it's just the ultimate key to get to that position of understanding your heart, genuinely understanding your heart. That's your ultimate goal while you're here on this earth. Understanding to
Your
get your
purpose.
purpose too, understanding your purpose too, because you have to know that in order to truly love somebody, it's not transactional. You love them because that's who you are.
Hmm.
They don't have to do nothing. They don't have to be good by you. That is the most high frequency to get to not have any judgment and to give somebody, to extend something that is so much value to you. But it becomes hard because we haven't completely surrendered and loved ourself, our whole self completely. We can be in a, you know what, baby, let me get this side, come a dimp on this side. I was telling my baby before we started, I want to be on that side, come a dimple on, such and such side. She like, nah, you right where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? But that's sometimes as we do as people, you have a little insecurity of you feel like you look better. You don't realize you may not appreciate your complete self as you should.
Yeah, true. I'll tell on myself. The reason that I took so long to get in front of this camera because I do not like pictures, videos. I don't like none of it. I'm like, and he always say, "Oh, you look
It be
fine." I'm like,
it be all in your
you
head.
think I look good rolling over out the bed in the morning when I look a hot
But
mess.
you be thinking about your lips moving and you talk fine. But soon as you get in front of the camera,
Everything.
you thinking your mouth moving funny.
No,
It
no,
don't.
no.
But you
I
doing
just don't
fine.
like it. I
But it's
don't
in your
like it.
head.
You think I'm fine all the
Look,
time.
see, that's what I'm talking about.
See?
The insecurity. You know what I'm saying? See, we be fighting, we self-sabotage ourselves.
I
I'm
could never
saying,
be a news anchor.
oh Lord, Miss Self, she got me sweating over here.
Hey, oh, that's what I was gonna say. Like we had talked about like mind, body. What we was talking about, mind, body, soul,
Yeah, yeah,
or something.
yeah, yeah. Let me.
So then I know I actually have notes on that, and you know I'm taking notes because once I start, anybody that know me, you know, once I start a deep dive into something that might possibly be enlightening, it's a whole deep dive, a real deep dive. Because now I gotta come back with questions, 1,000,
Let me get my
so
notepad
that
out.
we so that we can
No,
discuss it. Because if you aren't learning, then what are you doing? Like
you can't be beating me down on
can't
camera.
nobody.
Let me get my notepad
Ain't
out.
nobody ain't don't make
Yeah,
listen. Don't make me get my laptop now because you know
yeah.
there's some notes on there.
It's your body, soul, and spirit.
Let's go there. So let's discuss that. And what's the correlation? Because like a shortened version. Because then when I started thinking more in depth about the soul, what it encompasses, there can be a lot of different facets to that. And where did that originate from?
Mm. Well, they have the chakras. Sometimes it's mind, body, soul, and spirit. Mind, body, and soul. Body, soul, and spirit. I think it's safe to leave it at body, soul, and spirit. Excuse me. You know, I brought receipts.
Mm.
So in my now the description that they have, they say we are a spirit, have a soul, and live in a body. So for body, you have functions, nerves, five senses, your brain, organs, and cells,
Mm-hmm.
right?
So physical components.
Yeah. So for your soul, that's your personality, your conscious, your mind, thinking, reasoning, subconscious mind, emotions, beliefs, feelings, involves nervous and your immune system, right? And the spirit is your meaning, purpose, and love, right? So just my thought of looking at that, because I was brainstorming and I was thinking just the description, if I can put a picture in my head, I look at, you remember how they have on TV the little red man or the little devil and
Mm-hmm.
the little angel in the white. And when I think of the spirit and soul, I feel like the spirit, let's just say, is in the white and your soul is in the red. And that's just the perception. It can be true or false. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the vision that I had. I ain't saying that it's fact,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like that's when I get more to believing that the ego is at war with the spirit. And the ultimate goal is to get back to the key of your spirit, your heart, true love, which is extending yourself, not wanting anything in return. That is true love. You know what I'm
Is
saying?
that realistic
It is very realistic
for who babies?
with growth. No, and I think we do it periods of time in our life. And then we go to training, transactional,
You
attachment
see.
type love.
So let's clarify. Are you saying that when you love somebody, you love with no expectations?
See, listen, that is a journey. Let's just make this clear. When you get in a relationship, let's just say you're extremely drawn to a person. That is the best college you can ever attend because you're drawn to them for specific reasons. They have something that you need to discover about yourself. And this is why the magnet is so strong pulling you, because it's kind of like, it's amazing how the spirit and soul works. The wounds want mates, but the spirit knows what your purpose is and what you need to cultivate, regardless of what mates your soul wants. So it's strange. Sometimes the soul think it be winning. You know what I'm saying? Because they think they surrounding themselves around people that's pacifying their wounds or trauma or whatever it is that they may have, but your spirit, the love that you have is so powerful that it can still get a lesson, can still take you through a lesson between the mess. You can put it that way.
Well, yeah. I mean, no, you know how I am. It's always like out of every situation, you need to have a positive from it. It ain't no reason to go through something and the whole time just look at all the negatives and all that stuff. My car break down on the highway and I gotta change my tire and I ain't know how to do it. I'm gonna be mad, but I'm gonna say, hey, at least I know how to change the tire now. I learned something from that. You know, hey, let me not carry this donut because I only can go 30 miles on it. Ask me how I know. But and then that's it. Now I got a full size backup tire. Every experience, if you're not learning from something, then there's no actual growth. Now, I know the look my hubby over here about to give me when I'm finna tell him I'm about to disagree with it.
Yes.
Listen,
It's expected.
but this is how we have analytical conversations to make each other grow, because then we ask questions that's outside of the box, and that's how it works. So when you brought it up to me, how my brain processes it is, because we talked about the option of it actually being what you say, spirit, soul, body, then mind, body, spirit. So some people use what your mind and your
body and soul.
Yeah, mind, body, soul.
Body, soul, spirit.
Right. So they use both correlation. So from what I was looking at, how it processes to me is a soul was something that a word that was developed for more of religious purposes, right? In a sense. Kind of in a sense. But the soul is supposed to be what goes here, there, everywhere, right? So you got your body, your mind is correlated with your actual soul. So instead of mind, soul, those two would be interchangeable in my thought process, right? So you got the physical, then you got the mental, and then you have the spiritual. The spirit is what connects you to your higher. It's like the connection. So my physical body here, and then it will be a line that would be my connection, is what's getting me there is the connection with like the higher power, God, whatever it is that I'm experiencing, whatever I believe. So without tuning in to your spirit, that's the communication point. Your spirit is the communication point to your higher power, or whatever, your soul, whatever you want to call, right? So then I looked up, it's this lady, Jane Fuller, quiet the mind and the soul will speak. So if you think about it, like y'all grew up how I grew up, anybody grew up, period. What you do in the morning, you pray. Or you sit, some people meditate. I meditate in the morning. So that quiet the mind and the soul will speak. Reason we can't ever listen to any of that stuff is because it's too much stuff, outside influences going on in our mind. That's why if I'm processing it, when we take the time to like meditate and be still and be quiet and calm all of those thoughts, then they can't interject with the message that we supposed to hear from our higher power, which then speaks to who we should really be.
Or how I said, your spirit, which is your higher power also. To not be so far-fetched, you got to really understand the purpose of connecting with yourself. I think that is a hard journey that we all like have a hard time.
That's why you gotta quiet. That's the point. You're being quiet.
But I know people, I mean, it sounds simple. It's like when we get...
Well, no, it's hard.
I'm just saying, when we start getting to certain levels, but I know people,
it's hard.
Like my partner was telling me on our show that he got to have the music on. He can't sit with silence.
I was just about
Some
to
people
say that.
run from that privacy. You know what? How I look at
They
it,
want to look at physical mirrors, but not spiritual
but not
mirrors.
spiritual mirrors. There you go.
Mic
Jewel.
drop.
Jewel. There you go.
Ain't no emotional mirrors up. Ain't no spiritual mirrors up. Ain't no mental mirrors up.
Yeah.
But they got mirrors up to see how the external, the physical is, and that's only the external. Because the mind aspect affects how your body is. But all the mirrors up, all the mirrors got covers on them, baby. Until you meet somebody, and that don't have to be a relationship, anybody, and they come snatch that thing off and put you to that mirror, then you trying to cover it back up. Get out. I ain't asked you to come take that cover off.
I just know it takes a lot of little willpower. Open that key with all the distractions that you grew into being accustomed to. Like we was trying to get to earlier, you grew into being accustomed to say that that's me.
That's what I need, right?
That's that's just how I am. That's me. That's who I is. That's who I am. And that caricature that you done developed is not you.
I don't know.
It's you know what I'm saying? It's not. It's that wound that want to keep being a dictator of your life, telling you until you said you disagree. I'm saying that's that your soul that's in war with the spirit, trying to win over the dictatorship of the power of the mind, body. So I guess dominate the spirit to be like, aha. As I'm going to a slippery slope, but I'm thinking about the story of the Bible, and it's making me think the depth of how that could be. It comes full circle of like the conversation me and my brothers was having about self-sabotaging the stuff that we do to ourselves, meaning that this go right toward you're your own worst enemy.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna say every, but a lot of biblical stories do that. Even if we go back to the first thing, Adam and Eve, or whatever, doubt was planted. And then that's why that whole situation happened. Let's go fast forward to when God gave other directions for people to do stuff in the Bible and everything like that. Or when Jonah, we go over the story of Jonah and he was supposed to do something, his own insecurities and not wanting to do it and everything, and that's what ended him up in a bad situation. And then the others around him had to even experience some of his things that he had to deal with. I was going to say some of his negativity, but like on the water, they had him on the boat, and the boat was all, they couldn't figure out where this random storm came from. And it was because he was present. So that also shows us that when we walking around with our own wounds, we damaging people around us too at times. Once they threw him off the boat, then it calmed down.
That you keep coming back if you don't get it right.
I mean, this is like every test in life. We be swearing, we be going through different things, but it be the same thing
It's
each
the same
time.
thing in the relationship.
Until we pass the test, we gonna deal with it.
Same thing. And you gonna get with the same type of person. They may have different monetary things. This person may have a little bucket. This person got a Mercedes and a 5-story house. But that lesson, that lesson gonna be the same.
I don't know how I feel about that correlation.
I'm just saying, because sometimes the reason why I use that, because we'll think we get in a better situation from monetary gain. But that spirit of those dealing with that soul, those lessons still gonna be there. Those lessons that we need to receive still gonna be there. There's gonna be different type of pet peeves, what I forgot to add. There's gonna be different monetary type things that this person may, let's just say, this person may make more money.
Yeah.
Or this person may have cooked, or this person may didn't cook.
Mm-hmm.
All when you think about it, all those things is irrelevant. Like for the ultimate goal of what your spirit or your soul need. So I think you're going to get into those same type of situations, no matter what, until you correct it. That's my opinion. It's either true or false. But I know my wife gonna disagree.
I do
Go
not
ahead.
always
Go
disagree. I
ahead.
do not always disagree, but I have a thought process that may be a little bit different. Are those synonyms? Quite possibly.
Y'all do it. Sit back and look at your love relationship. Everybody do it, especially the ones that can't
What?
get in one. Why I keep getting with the same people?
This gonna be my thought process on it. I don't know if we get with the same people or, and it's probably kind
Well,
of gonna be the
but
saying the
I
same
really
thing.
said lesson, but I just said the word people.
Lesson.
Yeah, but
Yeah, because no matter how you learn the lesson, you gotta learn the lesson.
yeah.
So our ultimate goal in life is for self, right? Self getting to where we need to be in all the aspects. It don't matter how you say it, spiritual, physical, mental, everything. That's the whole goal. You fill out your purpose, by going within, and then you exude that purpose. But a lot of times our roadblocks stop us from truly getting to that purpose. So you could date John, Jamarcus, Tom, and everybody else, but they are going to consistently keep, like, go back to what we said, reflecting on you, the things that are obstacles from you getting to your true purpose. So we will bring out certain things in whoever we are with because of what we may need to change within ourselves. That's why some people be like, oh, well, this person being disingenuous when they with someone else because they're not getting the same reaction. Well, just because I don't kick and scream when I am triggered in that way from something, then the last relationship, maybe I just went and ran off and escaped, but it still was the same core reflection of something that I needed to change. And then we run from that when we have conflict, air quotes, instead of inner reflection. But and the biggest thing that we're gonna have issues with is that when we go through situations where we have conflict and we run back to our friends sometimes, and everybody don't got that friend that like to tell them the truth. So then they validate their
Mm,
behavior. I'm not one of those.
mhm.
um,
Pacified. It's lonely being that person.
Pros and cons.
I think it's lonely sometimes because I don't know. Even some people look at it. It's a pause in what I'm saying because I'm growing and I'm learning that even with all that being said, like from the example you gave, me giving my truth to people was all it was, my truth.
Mm-hmm.
This just taking the understanding for me this year to really get to it. I'm thinking it's the whole truth, but it's only my truth from my
From your
experiences
standpoint,
and my
right?
standpoint.
Right.
I'm not ashamed to tell it because I feel it's my duty to tell my truth, but that don't mean that it is the truth.
Except when I say it, then I
But
always.
so from the knowledge that I have, my experiences that I have, I'm giving you my best and I'm putting it on Front Street to give you what they say, my opinion, which is my truth, the best way
From
I
that
can.
angle.
You either can
Take it or leave
take it or leave it.
it. Which
Bottom
is true.
line, bottom line, take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about me giving my truth is the people that I am giving my truth to, it's always coming from a good place because my whole model, I'm very serious about growing as a person, as a human being, as a man. So people I'm around, I want the same. I want the same for you. I want to see you grow. I don't want to see you stagnant. I don't want to see you falling short. I don't want to see you not trying to be a better person, just getting comfortable because we getting monetary gain. Oh, we
Mm-hmm.
got property here, we got property here, we got cars here, we got cars here, we in the crypto, we doing that, you know what I'm saying? So what? But what we is internally.
Mm-hmm.
I
Or, and we could talk about that later. Or the other problem that I recently discovered, or you can try to say that's an issue, especially when you grew up in a certain way, is you get complacent. Like some people with money may do, but then it's one of those. hey, it's better than what I had before.
Mm.
It's better than what I thought I could be. That's better than, my mama and my daddy gave me. I gave my kids better than what I received. And just because it's better don't mean that it's good enough.
Mm.
Or, then we settle because we like, I reached my goal. Sometimes our goal is just to do better than what was done before, and with us doing better sometimes it's not enough, because then we might have thought that we only had one broken leg and one broken arm. We had two of each, and we done broke one of our kids' arms and legs. Not really, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Made me think, a little side note of what Cat Williams was saying. He said, hell, shit, he ain't know he was short.
It's because who he surrounded
Because he's
himself with.
surrounded with. He said
He was the biggest one in the
his
family.
mama and his daddy was shorter than him. When they need that cereal off the top of the freezer,
They called him.
they call him.
So to him, it didn't. He never knew he was
He
short.
ain't care about nobody else saying he's short, because in his,
He said he had good self-esteem.
yeah.
There were no outside factors influencing that. That's what be making me think that a lot of character traits and stuff like that for certain things that are all like instilled when you're younger. Because look, he was younger, but he been a comedian for a long time, and everybody always picking on him because he's short. But he don't have not 1 ounce of insecurity about it, because it was something his standpoint was solidified when he was younger.
Mm-hmm. But before we round this up, I'm gonna ask you one more thing about this love. Do you feel like it's different types of love? Because they got you. Well, I ain't mean to do it like that.
Who is they?
Well, I was finna say the Bible.
Oh, I'm trying to find out.
No, that you love. Well, I tell you, but do you think it's different type of love, or you think it's one love?
I think it's one love. I think it's just different levels to love. So you're going to have different dimensions, different avenues, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's one type of love, but it's different levels and dimensions to that same love.
I'm going to sauce you up in a minute. Go ahead.
Because, get out of here. I done made the whole meal and you want to bring the condiments.
Go ahead.
Get out of here. I done made the whole meal. Now he want to bring the ketchup and the mustard.
Go ahead.
The meal and the season already got seasoned and everything.
Cut yourself off, man. Go ahead and preach.
No, you trying to run your gator.
Go ahead and preach, man.
But if it's different dimensions and avenues to love, then that's where the levels come in at, and the depth of it, right? Because when you at, this level, friends, love, whatever, however people put their hierarchies, but the more in depth and dimensions that I just had a deep thought. The more depth and dimensions that you go into, the deeper that you actually love a person. My thought process that just came in my head is the more dimensions that you show and are willing to show this other person, then the more in depth love you can be, dimensions of yourself. So if you think about it, it's a part of really getting to know your inner self and allowing that other person to know the rawest version of you, because then that's another dimension. So each dimension of yourself internally that you go into deepens the love and inserts it deeper each time.
Now, I don't want to put you on the spot.
What?
But I'm putting you on the spot.
How you gonna say that?
Now, for the people that don't know what you mean by dimensions, now you can pull up your laptop and I can talk before you look it up, or if you got the answer.
I can only go into there's this is my brain be working. There's multiple dimensions, because we not just here It's just like you go mind, body, soul. You have a body where we can physically touch. And see, this is where people, I think, a lot of times say don't be unequally yoked, and they think that it just me, and this my perception and opinion, a Christian and a Christian, or this and that. But unequally yoked actually means intertwining on every aspect of where you should be. So the dimensions. So physical, then you have the mental dimensions as well, where you can, that's where, like we said, where your emotions live at. Can you be raw? Can you be vulnerable? Can you be all of those things, your thoughts? And then you have the other then you have the other aspect of what I believe, which is the also the spiritual dimension. So that can be correlated into, like, people say, I pray with my spouse, we do these, we do those things. But do you have a spiritual connection? So whatever you have a tendency to believe or be drawn to, is there a spiritual intertwining with this person? Do you have, and we know the physical, however that is, and then the mental intertwining, which includes your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings. If you can't be that in its truest form as you do that in each dimension or level, then that's where your love increases for people.
Mm.
It's how I feel. That's how it deepens. Because how can you have a true, super deep love without revealing all of the aspects of yourself to that person? That's why I also feel like, people say I fall in and out of love with people, or whatever the case may be. Or I think some people correlate love as not being transactional, because you will have to stay with somebody if love was not transactional. But loving someone is not equal to staying with that person.
Mm.
You can love somebody and know that you love them, but that don't mean you have to stay with them. Sometimes you have to evaluate the whole picture to see that, does your love for yourself outweigh the love you have for this individual? And what are your expectations that you're putting on everything?
Because to chime in, people think love have to do with another person. Loves come from you and it starts from you. Loves come from me and it starts with me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'm gonna answer this before I chime in about that. I think it's only one love.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think what separates, I guess, the foundation of true love is the intimacy level. And the intimacy mean the closeness that you have with a human or individual. So you will feel a stronger. Now, this is when we get into to other things, that the attachment,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the the lust, the such and such, the XYZ, the infatuation or whatever.
Yeah.
This when you get into all those other things. But the most high frequency, the most high vibration, one of the highest is love, right? Some people like, well, I don't know. I got different love for my kids than my friends and my boyfriend or my husband or
Mm-hmm.
X, Y, and Z. I'm like, yeah, your intimacy level
It's
is
different.
different.
Right.
Your closeness is different with your child, your husband,
Mm-hmm.
or your friend, XYZ.
Yeah.
So I think to simplify it and to put it in the most simplest form is that being in love is dangerous to me. Again, true or false, this is my opinion. If you in love, I think you're not useful for yourself. You become danger to yourself. I feel like you don't have no love. This is when you get into, you're being a puppet, you're being controlled by the person you're in love with. You're in a position that they can dictate your emotions as a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
When you get involved in that type of love, only then when you get in that position, you're not no good for that person because you can't be the best version of yourself, which is being more in tune with your spirit and your purpose, which is the ultimate, the most high vibration you can flow in,
Mm-hmm.
because you are extending yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that part that you're extending from is an infinity of abundance of love when you get to that point. But you have to go through work and cultivate yourself, which I'm doing. I'm trying. I'm not all the way. I'm not there. I'm just, you know, I'm just a source. Right now. I'm not all the way there. I'm in this walk and I'm in this path of seeing some of these things of the changes of how I used to, because I used to look at love as being transactional. Oh no, you not do for you. You got to do something for me now. You know? And that was the immature way of looking at it. With growth, wisdom, resources, understanding, the whole key is me really not being with you and using you as a cheat code because you're good at X, Y, and Z, and I'm weak at X, Y, and Z. Oh yeah, we a good match because I'm slow at that, and you strong at that. You know what I'm saying? But it's really showing me that those are the things that I need to cultivate within myself.
Right.
Or vice versa, of the strengths that I have, those are the things that you need to cultivate in yourself. Not us using it as cheat codes and saying, oh, we're one because you picking off where I left off.
Certain aspects.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, because we don't want me out here mowing no yards, and do we?
Well, we're not talking about physical. We're not talking about actually like. We're not talking about like physical traits. We're talking about like.
Well, some things I think that might be a slippery slope, because then that's where we run into the, which I'm not even sorry. I know you probably heard the saying, like, jack of all trades, master of none. You heard that before? Okay. So I think that's where we can be running into some of that at times, because my gifts ain't your gifts. Your gifts ain't my gifts. I can't sharpen a tool that I don't possess in my toolbox. It's not my job to have that tool. That's not a gift I was given.
No, that's correct. But I think that we are here to tune those things up.
How can I tune up something I don't have?
No, that's that. So I know you don't like, again. That's the purpose. There are things that we do have, but it got lost. Like, yeah, we have strength and we do have weaknesses, but we are capable to strengthen those weaknesses.
I don't think all of us is, though. What would be the then that would mean that we all genuinely would be the same.
No, 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 no. No, not necessarily. Because
Because I can't develop something I don't have. That don't have nothing to do with my purpose or my gift.
no, but you not, let me put it this way. You will know what it is that you need to strengthen because you will keep seeing it and probably be mad at the other person that does it. This is why we are all different. Now, I know I'm saying it wide in a range, but due to our purposes and whatever mission that we have, you're going to be placed in that situation and you're not going to just see it, just say in this situation, just like we said previously. You get in another relationship, that same type of lesson going to come to you,
Right.
what it is that you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to make it seem like
we're supposed to have all this.
Yeah, it's a long range, but there are going to be those specific ranges that you know that you need to do.
Because you're going to have it at work. You're going to have it in a relationship with whoever your significant other. You're going to see it in friendships.
I say, let's see what else.
We don't got nothing else. You can't even see the way you holding it back and forth.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing else on there. It's 11:30.
It's time to wrap it up. And I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I know y'all heard it. Love is blind. True love is.
Love ain't blind now, cause
love is blind. True love is blind. Don't believe the myth. We've been bamboozled.
So add 100 pounds.
Listen, but I'm saying, but true love. No, listen, I ain't got there yet.
Exactly.
I ain't got there yet.
That's not.
But I'm trying to give people the real. Let's see. See, sometimes y'all need to understand when people get on here talking.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are giving the word doesn't mean you living by the word. Sometimes somebody else got the tools, like you were saying, to activate the word. I'm working on it. You may be able to put it in play. And that's all I'm trying to do is be a source. Now I'm getting there. Don't get me wrong now. I ain't trying to fall short, you know. And I'm definitely, now I was saying that I wasn't there before we met.
Wasn't that well?
But how else you think I'm able to kiss you when your breath stink in the morning? You ain't wipe your face and you said it before we got on here. I'm you the beautifulest thing you is.
Yeah.
Because I love you. I don't see none of that.
Yeah, that wouldn't have bothered you. You've been kissing me in the mouth since we were at the beginning, but let me gain 100 pounds. You gonna be saying, baby, let's go work out.
That's my job.
See?
That's my job. I can't look. You can't be falling off. Hey, what type of person I be?
Oh, that's what it is, baby.
Yeah, I got to have the willpower to make sure I show great leadership and making sure that we all in here conditioned and we in shape. You know,
that's what we gonna go with.
Got these going for no reason, man.
But I don't want no belly either, baby.
But man, we gonna slide up on out of here, man. I had the wifey on here. Hope y'all enjoy our little episode.
I mean, I hope some of the other wifeys, I'm just saying, y'all.
Yes, sir, man. One thing we can slide on out. I ain't perfect. She ain't perfect,
at all,
man. And we got peace out. Washed up.